welcome to Mad Science Mountaintop. Stay tuned at the end for my commentary on this build, but for now, sit back and enjoy the video. Alright, so I gotta say, this is by far my favorite 76 camp build yet. It's just really fun to live in, which is gonna make it really hard to move on from. I honestly just got really lucky that the foundation pieces let me place them going into the cliffside. And I saved a ton of budget by not having to put up all the interior walls, instead leaving the natural cliff face in a lot of different areas. I would say the biggest drawback to this location is it's nearly impossible to set a proper spawn point that doesn't put you down inside the mountain, which makes my camp a chore for players without jetpacks to reach. And because Bethesda refuses to fix the fast travel mat and let us place it in our camp, all because the worst players among us would use them to create trap camps, I had to come up with my own solution. I fixed this by placing my camp module on top of a smokestack on the roof, giving it just enough extra height to spawn players at my front door, or occasionally in the room below. I love the view from this mountaintop, and occasionally you'll see a vertibird or a scorchbeast fly by, which is super cool to see, which is why I ultimately decided to use so much glass. Unfortunately, with all the sunlight getting in, my interior lighting only looked good at night, so I decided to use the Halloween weather generator, which makes my camp look awesome no matter what time of day it is. Just look at those god rays. But of course, the drawback means that the stunning view is totally gone. Honestly, I'm still kinda torn on which I prefer, so let me know which is your favorite in the comments. I would honestly love to hear your thoughts and opinions. I tend to grind through the new scoreboards within the month they come out, so I made sure to include lots of different generators to assist with doing dailies and weeklies. I usually try to knock out the daily challenges within 15 to 30 minutes, so these generators were critical to the build. My mentality concerning challenges tends to be along the lines of,
I'm fucking over it. Alright? I go there, I do my shows, I make my money, I get the fuck out.
Breaking down the utility elements, first things first, we have the brewing vat by the front door, which looks like a water storage tank from the outside but actually generates alcoholic beverages. Then in the bedroom, we have the vintage water cooler generating purified water to sell, the birthday cake generator making cooked meals, and the company tea machine making, well, tea. Then over in the Enclave Corner, I have the ammo generator running. Just look at that merged into the machinery. The ammo generator actually looks connected up to the other machinery, and I love it. In the living area, I have the 𝘋𝘶 steamer generating more cooked meals, with a log pile nearby generating wood, which are implied to be for the steamer. Environmental storytelling, people, that's what it's all about. And, in case you're wondering how I sat the 𝘋𝘶 cooker back into the wall, I broke down the wall with a flamethrower trap, then placed the steamer in the empty space before repairing everything. I did the same thing to the weapons workbench as well, as both items are way bigger than they need to be and tend to be clunky or hard to fit in. Plus, the parts of these items that stick through the wall actually make great exterior decorations at no budgetary cost. You can also use this wall trick to place lights inside the walls, which is a technique I've been using for years now. Then, in the living room, I have the new Enclave data center generating high-tech junk components, and the turbo fertilizer grenade generator for the garden out front. In the Morgue Freezer, I placed the water boiler on the roof, and used a roof piece with holes in it to make it accessible from within the room. Then, in the garden, we have a Mothman egg generator, as well as a tato plant, a gourd plant, 2 corn stalks, and some razor grain to help with those vegetable challenges. You may have noticed that I reused the merged alien autopsy table from my Meyer camp, which is because it's one of my favorite items to make and use. You start by putting down a fly swarm anywhere you want on the body. Then, strategically place a mushroom light on the head so that when you sink it in, it will backlight just the collar around the head. Throw down a pressure plate, line one of the wheels up with the edge of the corner, and just spam E until everything sinks down to where you want it. I use lots of merged items in my builds, and this is usually the method I use to make them. Originally, I built this camp back in October, and at the time, my boyfriend and I were watching our annual Halloween horror movie marathon, when inspiration struck like a bolt of lightning. We had just watched 2004's Van Helsing, a movie that's criminally underrated and should have been the actual start to the modern dark universe.
Back to the point.
At the beginning, there's a shot of Castle Frankenstein, and I thought, that's it, I'll make a mad scientist castle. And I'm really thrilled with how it turned out. although I did move away from the castle vibe and more towards a dilapidated manor. Just look, it even fits neatly onto the mountaintop without looking like it's defying physics like most 76 camps do, which is something I always try to avoid. And when I originally started building, I didn't even know about the one-of-a-kind mystery cryptid impaled on the cliff nearby. Just so cool! But otherwise, that pretty much wraps it up for this one. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out my other camp build videos. But, as always, thanks for watching.